everyone. Thanks for coming to the weekly meeting of the Rotary Club of Wausau. I'm going to start by suggesting something. We don't have to do it today, but I don't know how people feel about this, but I, for one, have missed some of the formality that we had in our in-person meeting, and I've been sort of ruminating about how we might get some of that back. And something I thought of was the Pledge of Allegiance in lieu of the, the national anthem, and just kind of having someone say that at the beginning of the meeting as kind of the opening event. So I see some heads nodding. I don't know, just think about it, and if if people are up for that, maybe we can come up with a protocol for that. So Andrew gives me a thumbs up, so I guess that's good. So more to come on that topic. Next up is some announcements. I don't have a lot on this front. There may be others, but something that came this morning to some of us, perhaps all of us, was another round of funding from the district level with respect to the coronavirus. You may recall we partnered with the Early Birds to do that this past spring, and I think raised $3,000 or so, and provided some weekend kind of bridge meals for students in rural Marathon County. The district, it appears, I haven't had a chance, I've seen a flurry of email, I haven't really had a chance to digest it, but it appears to me that they've opened that up again, similar funding opportunity. John may have some more insight into this, I'm not sure, or they've opened that up for another round. So I've seen some suggestion for support to maybe do the same thing we did before. Patrick Bradley was certainly on board with that idea. It seems like there was some consensus, but that's just the folks who saw it, read it, and emailed this morning. So maybe just if people have initial thoughts or reactions to that, I'd open it up for comments now. John Townsend, do you have any further insight? Were you aware that this was coming, or maybe not?
Yes, I was aware that just before Steve Handrick finished his district governor year, he mentioned that another round would be coming. I saw the Early Bird Club is looking at pursuing it as well. So, it could be just a duplicate of what we did before. It depends on whether the organization here is interested in a match. I think the clubs may be eligible to apply to up to $2,500, I think.
It's $2,500, yeah.
Yeah, there's a $20,000 district option, I think, for all of them. So I guess I'd be inclined to talk to Jeff Sargent and just see if he would agree with the comments made earlier here that that same need, which seems intuitively clear to me, exists out there, and we could support them further with maybe do it in conjunction again with the Early Birds.
Yeah, I like that idea. I can certainly reach out to Dave Anderson, see if there's an appetite for that with the Early Birds. And as I said, Patrick Bradley certainly voiced support again, given his efforts with the Hunger Coalition. Other thoughts or ideas? There's Patrick at his Bass Lake retreat again this year, or this week. He must not be hearing me, though. He's not reacting to my jokes. In any event, any other thoughts? Okay.
Matt, it's Carla. I think, on behalf with the Early Bird Rotary Group, I think that, again, I can't speak for them, but I know Dave Anderson was working pretty closely with Jennifer Havel on some of the things that we were doing. And I think there would probably be some real interest in being able to partner, whatever that may look like. Obviously, the need is tremendous, and we're really happy whatever we can do to help and help our partners.
Carla, I think we'll enlist you as kind of a double agent then. You can be you can go back to the early birds.
I can hear
Yes.
I can hear the laughter coming down the hallway.
That's
Double
right.
agent might be it.
Yes. So you work on it from that angle, and I'll call Dave and see what I can do from.
Got it. Sounds good, man. I'm going to mute my line now. Your double agent's going mute.
Fair enough. Okay. Other announcements from anybody in the club?
Just please, again, go to that Google Doc, everyone, and check out times that you might be able to be a speaker or bring in a speaker. We still have a lot of openings, and I really hate to volunteer people to do stuff and just put your name down on it. So if you can, please take a look at that list. Especially we still need a speaker for next week. And I'm sure Andrew would be very happy if we could help him. And I know I would be too, if we can have this all filled in so we can get the monthly bulletins and things done on a more timely fashion.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Sounds
Please
good.
and thank you. Please and thank you.
I'm just responding to Patrick. He can't hear anything, so I'm going to just chat with him here for a minute, since I made a joke at his expense.
All right, since Patrick can't hear us and he's not talking, I'll just fill in for him for a little bit, I guess. For the Hunger Plus Coalition donation fundraiser we're doing, we'll probably end it this Wednesday. Over the past couple of days, we've managed to raise a little bit more. From a Facebook side of things, we're currently at 570. From the Harness app, there hasn't really been any movement on there. It's still about $35. Patrick himself has received some pledges, and I think we are about, don't quote me on this, about $1,200, I think.
Dennis, so that's the total number, and then we have the anonymous match on top of that. Is that right?
I think total with the match is 1,200.
1,200. Okay.
Yes.
So total with the match is 1,200. All right. Well, a few more days here, everyone. If you've got the time and inclination to contribute even a little bit, that would be wonderful. Patrick sounds like is still trying to troubleshoot his sound, so we'll see if that happens. Any other announcements from anybody in the club?
This is Gayleen. Just again, had some conversations. We lost Mike Beck as our sponsorship chair for the Rotary Reindeer Run. Again, I mentioned at the last meeting, we were going to attempt to try to still do this in person, but also offer a virtual. So I could use some volunteers for anything. We're not going to have a water stop because that we have found from other races that are held in other areas that they are skipping the water stop. So really what we need from people is sponsorship help, and then also the day of the race, probably people to help distribute the beverages. We'll probably have everything. We're going to, instead of allowing people to just kind of grab and go, we're probably going to have to guide people and at that process as well. So any volunteers, any help, let me know, let Tanya know. Sean is still playing a role in this as well, but Tanya and I are actually co-chairs. And as a reminder, we're also having people, the contest more of the best dressed, most holiday spirit kind of awards. No first place winners in this type of event anymore. We just wouldn't want to spend the money to have that and pay for for our company that's doing the racing timing and then have that race get canceled. So financially, it was better for us to just kind of leave this as a true fun run this year.
Okay. Thanks for the update. Any other last chance for announcements? All right. I think we're good. Next up are happy and sad dollars. I had kind of told people I was going to kind of selectively pick people. Jim Campbell, I see your panel on the screen and you're on mute. I don't see a video. I wonder how you feel about coordinating happy and sad dollars today.
10-4.
You're pretty good at wrangling, at separating people from their wallets, I've noticed. So if you're up for it, the floor is yours, Jim.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm looking at faces right now real close to see if there's someone I can pick on right away. Well, let's start off like we used to have in Boy Scouts. You have a rose. If you have a thorn, you have to have a rose. So the rule today is if you have a sad dollar, you have to follow it with a happy dollar. All right? So let's start with sad dollars.
I'll put in a sad dollar. My pastor, Walter Davidson, is retiring as officially the 13th of August, and he had preached his last sermon a week ago this last Sunday, and this last Wednesday he was diagnosed with COVID. And he's got a lot of the symptoms. His wife and son who live with him have very mild symptoms, but they've also tested positive now. So he's going out with a bang, not the way he wanted to, but I'll put in a sad dollar for that. And then the happy dollar, I guess, is that even though he's feeling weak, he's doing okay and his family is doing well too.
Thank you, Deb. And you remembered the rules. That's good. Rosemary, there's something on your mind.
You're muted.
Trying to think of the happy dollar. I have a sad dollar. My brother-in-law passed away yesterday at almost age 88. So that's the sad dollar. The happy dollar is, even though funerals are sad times, it can also be a joyous time when family gets together.
And he went on the honor flight about 7 years ago, didn't he?
Yes.
He was one crazy guy.
Quirky.
He was a lot of fun. He was a lot of fun.
Quirky.
Yep. Thank you, Rosemary. I'm sorry I interrupted somebody. Mark.
I'll play, Jim. My sad dollar will sound a little counterintuitive. My eldest daughter is graduating from high school at Wausau East tomorrow evening. So that's going to be my first experience. The sad part of that is obviously it's a little weird, but the happy dollar that will follow up is, you know, it's still graduation. It's a big milestone. She seems to be doing okay with all this uncertainty, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if Dr. Peck's on, but I know he has, I'm sure, among others, spent lots of time trying to coordinate this strange world and how they were going to do this. So you can put me down for a sad and a happy dollar on those.
Thank you, Matt. Nice job.
This is John Overland. I have a sad dollar to start out with, is that we had a special event at Camp Phillips last Thursday where we had 2 different sessions, all kind of protocols for social distancing. But we just had terrible, turnout from our scouting family. And I'm sure it was due to COVID. It's just what COVID's doing these days. The happy dollar is that it was actually our 100th anniversary was last Thursday of Samoset Scouting. So we read a governor's proclamation, despite the governor wasn't there. And the 20 or 30 people that were surrounding the area that were social distancing had a good time. We were just hoping for 50 was our, so well, maybe we'll have a 101st anniversary next year and try to postpone things and do it better next year.
Thank you, John.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jean Tehan, sad dollar, the Mint restaurant on 3rd Street, the iconic Joe and Mary Popowski. Mary passed away last week, so just keep them in mind. She had a real rough time of it at the end. The happy dollar is our oldest granddaughter is making her first Holy Communion this weekend, and she is wearing the dress that her mother wore for her communion. And Grandma did a little editing and a little changing of elastic in the sleeves, and she feels like a princess in that. So anyway, that's a very happy time. I'm so glad that we saved the dress and it looks brand new. So she's thrilled. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Who else do we have?
Thank you.
Jim, this is John Townsend. I'll throw in happy, sad. With tongue in cheek, the sad is that I'm getting older, as evidenced by my youngest son's 35th birthday today. So happy birthday to him. And my dad always used to tell me when he called me up, you don't know how old you make me feel.
Cute.
Yeah, there's a Marine lieutenant just showed up behind me.
I was going to say, speaking of that, Jim, that's a younger version of someone we know, isn't it, behind you?
Yeah, yeah, much younger.
Yes.
Well, that's pretty good. JB, talk to me.
I don't have a happy or sad dollar. Just glad to be here.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a happy dollar.
Okay.
It doesn't go backwards. If you have a happy dollar, you don't need a sad dollar. It's just the other way around.
So Jim, I would check.
Dollar. I'm glad to be here.
Thanks, JB.
Well, since Jim's squeezing everyone out, I myself participate in it too. Well, we'll do I can think of something. A sad dollar, you know, my sister indicated, my sister's in Australia, in Melbourne, Australia, and that area now has a lockdown and a curfew. No one over there can travel more than 5 kilometers, which is I think about 2 miles radius. So I think that's really sad that they can't really move out again and they're currently on lockdown. The happy part of it is, you know, my mom's over there with her, and I don't have to deal with it. So that's the happy part of it.
I guess I should follow my own rules. Sad dollar. I just got notified yesterday that my Merrill High School class reunion was canceled. I graduated, I guess, from 2 schools, and it was a big one. They decided to run it next year. And the happy dollar, I got to sit on the dock with James III and James IV and watch number 4 catch his first fish. Right in front of my dock, or sitting on my dock. That was kind of cool. That was kind of cool.
Cool.
Carla, I think you may have had something you were going to add.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have to participate, and I can't be quiet for very long. So I think I don't have a sad dollar at the moment. So I'm
Okay.
thankful for that. But I was just sharing with Jean a happy dollar because Saturday we had just come off of the river on a really relaxing boat ride, and I was driving and witnessed an accident that took place with a young man on a scooter and another man who had stopped at a stop sign and then proceeded into traffic. So the young man flew off of it and the bike flew. And I really wasn't sure what I was seeing. The good news is that everybody's okay. He did not hit him, but it was just horrific to see, and just I'm just so thankful. And so it just made me realize, you know, in an instant how quickly things can change. And just, you know, compassion for people. So I was able to call 911, and I was just so glad everybody was okay. So I'm happy everybody's all right. So, and I'll give my money to Jean just so I don't get in trouble. And
All
I don't
right.
have a sad dollar, Jim, so I'm not
I'll
following the
find you.
rules.
No, you don't need a sad. If you have a happy, you don't need a sad. And you did
All right, good.
You've done good. Mr. President, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Nice job. Thank you, everyone. Okay. I think that brings us to our speaker, Dennis. I think you can introduce her today for those of us who don't know her, and
Yes.
we'll go from there. Thank you.
Our guest speaker today is a wonderful, terrific retired teacher. Many of you know her. She grew up in Wausau. She was an adjunct teacher at NTC. And today she's still a teacher at the Little Red School in Wausau. When she's retired, she continued to volunteer at many great organizations. But, you know, nothing seems to please her. She's still feeling bored. So she continued to explore new things, and she reestablished the Meriden County Literacy Council a couple of years back. And you know, I think many of us might remember she spoke at our club about 3 years ago when she initially kicked it off the ground. And in a few short years, and she has 5 locations and has helped many people in the community, both organizations and businesses in the area. And she's doing this all out of a passionate desire to help people. And she does not get paid to do this. As the executive director of Meriden County Literacy Council, she has chosen not to receive a single cent. Last year, she received the 2019 Women of Vision award presented by the YWCA. And so many things have changed in the past couple of months amid this pandemic. And here she is today with us, Connie Heidemann, Meriden County Literacy Council, McLit.
Thank you, Dennis. I'm going to have to increase your pay for that. You appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to start my PowerPoint. Some of you have heard me. I talked to the Rotary Club about 2 years ago. Can everyone see it?
Yes.
Okay. So the first couple screens are going to be pretty much what they were before in case there's someone new. After that, we have updated it to what's been happening more recently. Our mission is the improving the quality of life and through literacy, of course. And I'm pausing because for some reason it's not turning my page. Okay, I'm going to go the old-fashioned way and click over here. There it goes. We are a 501c3. We provide tutoring in Marathon County and all the other areas. There is no literacy councils north of us, and so we do have a couple tutors that go up by Merrill. We do have some that go to Anago. We have a tutor in Marathon City. And what goes around comes around. Wausau itself had been taken over by the Wood County Literacy Council because there hadn't been anybody taking care of it for a while. So when I came aboard, I eventually broke away from Wood County because we were the larger county and they were having problems trying to deal with both of them. Now Wood County has collapsed, and so we do the Marshfield area of Wood County, and the Portage County is taking care of Wisconsin Rapids. So now we are actually taking care of parts of Wood County also. All our services are free of charge, being a nonprofit. Now these statistics are probably the same ones I shared last time. They are the newest literacy statistics that we have for the general area, printed with ProLiteracy, which is the national organization. These statistics are from 2011, and 8,000 people in Marathon County are illiterate according to the Wisconsin state average, and that is what was given to the national people. 43% with low literacy levels live in poverty. $232 billion a year spent on health care due to this low literacy, and at least $225 billion is non-productivity in the workforce, crime, and loss of tax revenue. This is what our Marathon County Literacy has collected just last year. If you were on the board or city council, these were shared. These are our learners we have by ethnicity. We have many different languages. I was surprised by the number that we do have in the Wausau area. Our learners by age, and this is last year, 2019. I'm thinking it's going to change quite a bit this year as we were closed for COVID. We're just opening back up, and I'll explain to you our new plan, our new goal, and that will, I'm sure, change some of our age levels. We have, last year, we had some learners in Lincoln, some in Winnebago, and that was before we had included Marshfield's statistics. They didn't end up until the end of October. So for those 2 months, we didn't include them in our yearly statistics. The number of homeless we served, and it is female and male, and those with a high school credential, which is a little bit different than the life report. What we were seeing is more of the homeless, and the life report doesn't get as much as hands-on information from the homeless as we would like to see. Our progress in the last 3.5 years is we have discovered more of the individual needs in our county. Each literacy council in the state is run a little bit differently. Some are on Indian reservations. Some of them are like in Milwaukee, Racine. They have a whole different group and clientele than what Madison has. Green Bay and that area has another whole different group. We have our own individual group of more rural people and more of the northern people who are changed during the summer and the winter, and then we have a lot of snowbirds in our area also. And so we are learning that particular group that we are reaching out to. We try to match an individual with a tutor all the way through our program. Right now we don't have any group tutoring, but that can change. We try to make an individual plan for each of our individual people. It depends because our literacy covers such a wide area. We include math, English, and ESL, which is the normal literacy. We also have health literacy, financial literacy. We help with driver's license and CDL. We help with schooling. We are like the pre-GED, HSED. We work with NTC. A lot of their people that come in aren't always able to pass the test to even start the GED program, and that's when they send them to us. When they reach at least a 6th or 7th grade level and they can pass the test, we send them back over to NTC, and that's our agreement with Dr. Wires. We serve as an ongoing support system, so just because you have accomplished your CDL or whatever your goal had been, we still follow up, and you can still come back at any time. You can change your goals. You can do whatever you want to, and we'll jump right in and help you along the way. We also assess students' progresses regularly. The state in all of our recording wants to know, and so do people such as NTC and the UW if they're going to take our students on as they progress. And then we also use it to make our adjustments in tutoring as we go along. Some of our areas of assistance, which I had just listed, but again, the workforce employment, we do helping for finding appointments, finding jobs. Everything is online now. Some of the unemployed people do not have access to computers, especially right now with the library being closed or only being able to use it for a half an hour. If they are slow or have disabilities or whatever their problem could be, they don't get an application finished in a half an hour. So we help with a lot of that. And right at the very top is the new one that we plan on adding because of COVID and all the changes in our whole existence right now is student assistance with virtual learning. But by student assistance, we also hope to include parents or whoever is working with the students. They're having a hard time, some of them with just Zoom or even signing into the school website. Some of them even can't pull up their own students' report cards, attendance, things like this. So virtual learning is becoming very hard for some parents, not all, some parents as well as the students, because the different teachers are often using different programs. So the students have to learn how to jump into different programs and understand how they do different programming with the programs that their teacher's using. Our goals: help the students learn online, and this is where we kept changing everything. Improve the employability, and we aren't changing any of the people that we had worked with before. And by increasing our different office areas, we've increased our room space so that we can still hopefully handle as many people as we get. We were getting a lot of homeless, a lot of people. We work with Andrew quite a bit at Open Door, and some of our newly released from prison, after they've settled down for a week or so, they get sent over here or find their way over here. So we help with getting a job, some job retention. Hopefully we're going to help break that cycle of poverty. We want to promote financial security. That's why we have financial literacy, and we inspire deeper family and community connections, especially now that we're going to be working online and with more students, teachers, and parents. Some of our new things that we're doing here at McLit, and we've started with this building first. The reason we came to a new building, I'll explain, is that the library is still closed, and that's one of our offices. Salvation Army is still closed. We are on the second floor where they do food, and with USDA guidelines, the Salvation Army is still handing out food out of the back of the building. So if they're not allowed in the building, they can't come by us and work. So we came over to 3rd Street. We're right next to Yankee Bookstore and Randall Jewelers, and across the street is BMO Bank. We have some new board members that just came aboard, so we are very anxious for a little bit of a change, especially with our charter, because our charter originally had said 18 and older, but with our new board members and with our new issues we're having with the virtual learning, we right now will take anybody of any age as long as someone over 18 is with them. And then just for safety precautions, we would like to have an adult with all our students anyway. We have an increased focus on this virtual learning program and academic skill development. Some of the students, without having a teacher type person standing over them, around them, near them, have a hard time staying on task. So hopefully by having our presence, that in itself will just keep them working harder. We have our face masks, which I had one on earlier. I took it off when I was going to talk. We have our receptionist is doing hourly wipe downs of all of our screens, of our keyboards, of anything that we think they may be touching, all of the door handles, anything that we can possibly wipe down or spray, we are doing that hourly. We do have the plexiglass dividers. We have keyboard skins or covers. The teenagers yell at me, they're skins. Social distancing practices, we do have our tables spaced out. Our new location has a downstairs area. And when we get to use our other areas, we will have more space to be working out. Our hours will also increase to evenings and to weekends as the demand asks for it. A lot of the parents working during the day couldn't come and meet our 9 to 5 hours that we have. We have hand sanitizer bottles sitting all over our location. We do, when you come in, we ask you a few questions. We take your temperature. We do those normal things that are happening almost everywhere now. We do have the informational signs and things marked off for them. And we're trying to be as safe as we can with all of our people. We want to thank all of our sponsors for helping us renovate and to get COVID ready. We did apply for the Community Foundation United Way grant, and they are a wonderful supplier of all of our plexiglass, some of our masks. We do have gloves, and for just a lot of our thermometers that came from the grant. So thank you to anybody and everybody who was helping out with that. Some of our partnerships are the Hmong Center. We are at the Marshfield Public Library, but right now they are not going to do the student program. Their students are going part-time, we think, as of now. And our tutors are preferring not to work with students. So as long as that's what my tutors are preferring, I will stick with what they feel comfortable with. We go to Marathon Ginseng and tutor there. We go over to Community Corner Clubhouse. They have all of their safety implemented, so we feel very comfortable going there. Salvation Army is welcoming us back. We have new leaders over there, Major Barb and Major Paul, and they have been very wonderful. We can't do anything different than what their headquarters allow and what the government is allowing. So we're following their guidelines. We do work with Historical Society, but right now they are down also. And the Joseph Project. Joseph Project will be starting up again in September. I'm not sure how many people we're going to get, but that is the one that works with people just out of jail. We do with Pastor Yao and Maggie Cronin and the senators. We do work with the people just out of jail for an entire week, and then we do go place them in jobs. And a big one that we do is support them after they get the jobs. After they get the first paycheck and they have money in hand, they have a tendency to go spend their money and forget about thinking about the next check coming. And then they don't stay at their job. So that's our big thing at Joseph Project, is keeping them on the job. Our team is me. I'm Connie Heidemann. Cassie McLean was on our board and was offering to be a tutor. And then when an opening came up for a regional coordinator, she got the position. So we're pleased to have Cassie, who lives up toward Merrill, on as part of our whole program. Anne is our, Matazinski is our vice president. She runs the GEM Learning Center with dyslexia and autism. Michelle Brandt is over at Whipley, and she's our treasurer. Honorary Cote is a physician's assistant, and she is working through the Wisconsin Literacy also, who sets up a lot of health literacy programs. So she brings them to this area. She's been doing them at the Ys and at the libraries, and just promoting the health literacy that the Madison program sets up all over the area. Dennis is a member. Jill Porter is the head library, or the head person at the Marshfield Library, so that we have contact. Maggie is one of the head people with Joseph Project, and she's on our team. Haley Nats is with, I forgot, I think she left UPS for a different insurance company, I can't remember. Jeff Schumacher and Joanna Nelson are both on our staff and do a lot of tutoring. And so it's great that they come to all of the board meetings and share what's actually happening with a lot of our people. And I don't know if I said Monica Hans, but she's also a teacher over at the Hawthorne School. And so I'm pleased to have her as helping with our tutors and just doing training in general of any questions they have. So, this is where we came from. Those of you who saw us before, the newest ones, we got the Salvation Army. NTC is no longer working up there, and that's why we're in the upstairs of Salvation Army. And that's where a lot of our homeless comes from. That's why we have stats in 2019 with a lot of homeless. That's why I think 2020 might change, because hopefully we'll have a lot of the parents and students this time. We got the, this one goes together. I'm sad to say that Wood County wasn't able to survive, but we are taking over parts of it. So at least they didn't lose literacy at all, their program that they had. We are now at the Hmong American Center working with Yi, and we're hoping to set up citizenship classes over there. And now we've got the new office that I'm working at and setting up right now. Like I said, that's why I didn't work on my PowerPoint as much as I had planned. We are, our one-year plan is working with the students of all ages and virtual learning. And I don't think we'll ever lose the virtual learning totally. And it's going to be a good thing for us to be working with the older generation that has never done virtual learning before, so that everybody knows and understands what it is. We assist and guide the primary caregivers of students with special needs. And we have quite a few students with special needs. We have a consistent and permanent paid staff, and that's a goal that we're working toward. I'm still going to be a 100% volunteer, but to have office people and somebody constantly volunteers have other things that come into their life that if you were getting paid, you might have stayed and done. But if somebody offers to take you out for a free dinner and you have a choice of just sitting around in somebody's office or getting a free dinner, they take the free dinner. So hopefully we're going to get some paid staff. We want to increase the knowledge and training of computers and technology. We want to expand McLit's book club at the landing. We just met this past week over at the back of the landing because we're still not allowed in the landing. And it was a lot of fun. The weather was perfect. We were spaced out on the picnic tables back there, and we had a great time at the book club. Even other people that were just eating their lunch there came on over and joined us and talked about some different books and things that were going on. So that was kind of a fun experience to have your book club outside. Our 5-year plan is to pair at least 75% of the job seekers that we see with steady employment. And it's harder to get them into the steady employment is kind of the key thing. And to create an annual community event for fundraising, because as we are growing, our needs are constantly growing also. And this is where to contact us. It includes our phone number, our email. We do have a web page, and we have a new person that is doing a lot of our IT work. So our web page is getting updated regularly right now. And so I'm hoping that you'll be able to see or follow what we're doing just at random. The one thing I wanted to mention in my 5-year plan and doing all of the virtual learning and the more help with technology, all of these things, I have contacted the UW and I'm going to start working with them. The kids, the students coming back, they aren't kids, coming back to the UW, sometimes get some student work, but also will need volunteer hours or otherwise just need, I talked to Ann heard her rap and she was saying sometimes they just need stuff looking good on their resume. So if we can get a lot of the students from the UW that know the IT programs that are being used, and we're also talking with Brooke Schindler over at NTC to see if we can get some of their students in their IT programs. And so we would have somebody here regularly in case something crashed, in case something happened, or if we just get questions we really don't know, hopefully they can either answer them for us or find out from their own classes and teachers for us. So I'm hoping to get that connection going to help us with reaching out virtually to everybody. And that's it. Are there any questions?
Thanks, Connie. That was very informative. Are there questions for Connie? Maybe you want to stop sharing your screen at this point and we can see the group, Connie?
I'm not, it's not telling me. Oh, wait, got it.
There we go. Questions for Connie?
Hi, Connie. This is Andrew. How are you this afternoon?
I'm good. Hi, Andrew.
Hi. So I am asking or inquiring about job placement. I know you mentioned that multiple, throughout your presentation. Whom do we contact to kind of initiate potentially a job placement for folks looking for positions? Would you be the point of contact, or is there like an online dashboard we can enter job information, or how does that work?
Oh, I like your suggestion. Right now, there is not an online place, but I will definitely consider that and look into that. Right now, it's just contacting us. You can leave a message, you can contact me, And I am reaching out to all of my different contacts. I have some personal places that I know the people there that I've been reaching out to. The Joseph Project has different people that they reach out to. They have somebody at Reinbrenner Shoes. They have somebody at Crystal. They have somebody at Kobe. Green Hack hasn't joined our program right now, but we asked them, let's be totally fair to Green Hack, we asked them in March, and guess what? Everybody was cutting back hours. So that was a horrible time. So we're going to go back and contact them later. But the COVID is giving us a little bit less pay and a little bit different kind of jobs than what we had before. So we're right now having a harder time reaching out to different places. They're still kind of keeping what they have, but not adding. So if you have any ideas, be thrilled to talk to you.
Excellent. I'll get your point of contact information, or I'll get it from Debbie after this discussion, because I definitely would like to connect with you.
Okay, thanks.
Other questions?
This is Jean. Yeah, this is Jean. Something that people might not know about, you have been just relentless in going where the need is, and an impressive thing, in addition to everything that you discussed, is you've gone out to ginseng farms to teach. Do you want to tell a little bit about that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the very last part. I heard all the compliments.
You've been, yeah, good. You've been going out, you go where the need is. You go there, and you've gone to teach in ginseng farms and the workers there. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Right now, when they are working in the fields, we don't work with them as much because they are very busy. But especially in the winter when things are very slow, we have to split up over there because some of them are Hmong that are actually working in the fields, and some of them are very highly educated, working in the offices. And Dennis, I'll throw you in as one of my highly educated when we were working over there. The things that I was thinking about teaching weren't always exactly the same. They know enough words to basically work in the fields and communicate with each other in English, but they do a lot more of using the Hmong language. Our Chinese are all from fancy colleges with all these fancy certifications, and they're more into just making their speech sound more Americanized, get the accents just right. A fun one that we were playing is a lot of idioms that we say. No, it's really not raining cats and dogs, but there's a whole lot of them that we use that we don't think of. And so when you get a strange look, you got to think about what did you say that they didn't pick up on, because our language is full of a lot of slang and a lot of crazy things that weren't necessarily taught in all their schooling. So we work with totally different wide ends of the spectrum. If we go over to Community Corner Clubhouse, that's another interesting one as wide ends of the spectrum. Some of them are mentally rather slow. They've either born that way, they were in car accidents, there's a lot of different reasons. But some of them just are plain depressed or autistic, or they're very smart in a lot of other ways. So I have one that can write me lesson plans at a science level that would be good for college. I mean, he was teaching me how all the waves are bending in a microwave and how all of it worked and how he could cook my hand and things. And I'm just like, ugh. But they're, just because we say mental, it doesn't mean that they aren't smart. And just because we say they don't know our language, it's not because they aren't smart. We've had some people coming in from South America that left their countries under duress with all of the fighting and the fear of their own safety. And they were like dentists and things that had never thought of having to learn the English language. They hadn't thought about leaving their country. So some of our people are extremely intelligent, and some of our people are just not always willing to learn. Some of the homeless, they just kind of gave up on life in general. So then you have a whole different thing to work with also. Those people, we have to kind of get that need, that want, that whatever it is, that drive that makes them want to be learning and improving their lives. So it's a whole wide range of what the literacy is that we're going to be reaching out with.
Okay, other questions?
Connie, I have a question. It's Carla. Two questions. One, do you have a wish list of sorts as far as things that your organization needs? And is that somewhere where we could take a look at it? And then the second question is about tutors. I would assume that the demand for that is going to increase, my opinion only. I'm just curious what the parameters are for somebody and what you're looking for people that may want to help in some capacity.
I'm laughing at the wish list as we're moving and as I'm setting up and redoing things and as I'm thinking about this new virtual learning, plus the COVID, which we bought a lot of stuff, but we're always needing more. Yeah, it's about a mile long. It's reams of paper out the door. So I think I will ask my IT person to put it on our website, and I'll also put it on Facebook. But that's a very good suggestion. Thank you. I did get a microwave off of the wish list, and there's quite a few things that I did get. I got a lot of games. Some of our people get rather bored and tired of what they're doing, so we'll throw in a 5-10 minute game and then get back to their lesson just to kind of break up that constant studying. So thank you. That's good. I'm glad you brought the other one up also, because that is one thing I wanted to throw in is if you know of anybody who wants to be board members, we're always looking for a working board because we want to change our charter. We want new ideas. We want to be able to keep reaching out in the community. So if they have other contacts that we don't already have contact with, we just want to reach out to as many people as we can to help as many as we can. Our tutors, we're having a little problem with our tutors right now is we had a lot of the retired teachers, older people that have the time to do it. We're going to start needing a lot more younger people because we're going so much more to the computers and so much more into the virtual learning and so much into the stuff that my older, I belong to MCREA, which is the Marathon County Retired Educators Association. I am a teacher, and we can't do a Zoom meeting because all of the retired teachers, not all of them can do Zoom. So that will make it a real issue when we're trying to teach them how to do schooling. So if we can get some younger tutors, especially since we're going to be open in the evenings and the weekends, if we can get some younger people that are well, and even other people and older people that know the computers and stuff and feel comfortable with them, we're definitely looking for those kind of tutors. That's going to be a big weakness right now. That's why we're hitting up the UW and the NTC.
Got it. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Any last questions for Connie? All right. Well, thank you again, Connie. We appreciate all your efforts, and we appreciate you coming today and helping us learn a little bit more about what you're doing. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you very much for having me. And
Okay.
thank you everyone for being very patient listening.
All right.
Thanks.
So we'll close as we always do with the four-way test. And as I said, I'm just picking random people. John Townsend, how do you feel about reciting the four-way test today for us to close the meeting?
Let's do it.
All right.
Of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
All right. Thank you, John, and thank you, everyone. We will close the meeting and see everyone next week. Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye, Connie.